what up? How's it going? Hey, man, so Kim be riding with Jimmy, right? And it's crazy because Chuck, all he cares about is his brother utilizing the law in a way that he finds dangerous, and it brings smut to the name of law work. What do they call them? Officers of the court. So when it comes back that he's like, hey, they do that divergence, but you got to send in a letter. When I heard it, I was like, oh, no, that makes sense. I didn't really understand what the divergence was, right? Like you're diverting the sentence until I guess you don't do nothing and then it passed. But for his brother to like write a letter to the bar association saying what you did, I got to see how this goes going forward. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to what this episode has, because we're going to see what's going to go on, right? Let's go. Wait, is that Don Eladio? It is. You can see that chain. Oh, he got to go report the news. Why my money gonna be a little short this time around?
Dime, ¿no se te ocurría escaparte con esas cosas?
Answer quickly.
No, señor, yo
Keep
nunca...
eye contact.
No, si estoy bromeando. ¿Y qué más?
So this is before that takes place, huh?
Una heladería en Albuquerque, nombrada en honor a usted, el griego guiñador.
Jiménez, ¿qué me dices? ¿Se parece a mí?
Yo no, señor.
No, por supuesto que no, porque está muy gordo, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ándale, pues. ¡Ey! ¡Bolsa! ¿Una camiseta?
Los pollos hermanos.
Los pollos hermanos. Qué bien, bolsa. Mira, Héctor.
Yo diría los culos hermanos.
In the YouTube, I'm not sure if I kept it, but I go, wait, is he? I don't say it. I just go, are they? Because it just seemed like how they looked at each other that it was more to it than that. And then Gus, I don't know. It was just the fact that he said butt brothers now makes me think.
Allí.
¿Qué es
Making
esto?
them look bad.
Gustavo le manda saludos.
¿Todo esto en solo un mes?
Él es un genio de la distribución.
Pues quiero insistir que de ahora en adelante todos me lo traen así. No más ligas. Está impresionante, ¿no?
¿Eso qué?
That boy hate.
Ok. Me dice Sabrosito que el de Gustavo es más grande que el tuyo. Dice Sabrosito que el tuyo está bonito.
Imagine a dude who was so below you that y'all killed this man right in front of him. And now look, boy, sick the DEA on him. God damn. Wait, we gonna see Hank? Yo, that'd be crazy if we see Hank.
You go okay?
Yeah, thanks to those movers you got, all I had to do was watch. Kaylee loves her new school. The neighborhood's friendly. We feel safe.
That's good.
Look at that, living a good life, all because of that work he putting in.
Hey. You okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm fine.
Oh, shit.
Oh, men's room is over there on the left.
Cabron, I need to see you a boss. I need drink.
Well, like I said, he's not here, and I don't really know when he'll be back. I could take a message.
I wait.
Sorry about that. Welcome to Los Pollos Hermanos. May I take your order?
Yeah, can I get a 12-piece bucket with the jumbo?
Shout out to bruh man for knowing what was up early on. He said, nigga.
You can't. It's a health code violation.
Oh, no. He trying to draw him out. There we go.
Sir, it's employees only.
There we go. That's how I would expect it to go down. Black guy first. Then the Hispanic people. Now we're gonna see if this young gentleman understands what's happening right now. He about to pour that on you. Yep, there we go.
Gus Fring is a pillar of our local business community, not just for underwriting our travel raffle, but
Gus, if
for
you
making
don't
the
cut
best
this
damn
shit,
chicken in town.
even though we know he does not cut this shit.
Thank you. Well, gentlemen, ladies, I hope to never need your services. I mean, no offense, but if I ever did, it's good to know that.
You're about to see him turn into, you know.
Yes. I'll be right there.
There we go. See? Look at the look. Like, yo, Salamanca's a hating
I want
bitch.
you all to go home now. You will be compensated for your full shifts. Normal schedule tomorrow.
Mr. Fring, you sure you want to be left with these guys?
Oh,
I'm fine now.
listen, where is your spidey senses? Leave.
Don Hector, mine is a cartel business, but it is mine. Your actions here today have endangered them, my interests, and those of the cartel.
And from now on, you are my mule.
Bullshit.
You are going to bring my product north.
Yo, he a piece of shit.
My trucks are already at maximum capacity.
Make room. You want to cry to Bolsa? Cry to Bolsa. Or hell, Eladio.
Adding more product will threaten the reliability of the entire operation. May I ask, did Don Eladio approve this?
I approve this.
Because of what we saw in Breaking Bad, we knew the two faces of Gus, right? Those multiple faces. Listen to how he's talking to him right now. He wants him to believe there's no gangster in him. He wants Salamanca, Don Hector, to think there's no gangster in him. He wants him to believe that. He's lulling him in. This is going to be cool to see everything that led up. Still fuck with him as a character, though. This motherfucker funny. He just flicked off shit off his shoe on his desk.
You are doing it.
See? But he don't know. Look at that. See? That's what he wants him to do. This is always a part of the plan. To just keep fucking with him. Let him think he has the upper hand, then fuck with him.
Tell him we're square.
What? No.
Excuse me, everyone. Could you all please take a moment and join me out here? Please, come. I would like to apologize to each and every one of you who yesterday had to endure the behavior of those men. If any of you wish to seek counseling due to lingering trauma, speak with me privately, and it will be arranged.
Yes.
Also, you will all be receiving 24 hours of overtime, as I am sure, in one way or another, each of you brought this incident home with you.
Mr. Fring, who were those guys?
Oh, God. Lau, stop being who you are.
They wanted money. And I'm ashamed to say that I paid them. You see, in that place, at that time, if I wished to conduct my business, I had no choice. Again, they wanted money. Now, my friends, I must confess that I almost gave them what they wanted. No. This is America. Here, those men have no power. And when they saw that I had no fear of them, they ran, like the cowards they are, back across the border. I promise you that together we will prosper.
Hi, I'm calling about an appointment for Charles McGill. Well, that's why I'm calling. I think it's for this week, but good thing my head's attached to my neck, right? That's it. 2:30 tomorrow? Great. We're gonna need to cancel that. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Martin's Handyman and Repair. 2:30 tomorrow.
Thank you. How many calls did that take?
I tried damaged the victim's property instead of destroyed property. See if you can't get away with that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely sure you got the right guy for this?
No, the creme de la creme.
Where do I plug in?
You don't?
No?
No. Didn't you? I believe my assistant was very clear with your dispatcher. No electricity due to a condition that was explained in some detail.
No problem.
A gas lantern sitting on a stack of friggin' Financial Times. Now that tells the whole story. These are museum quality. You, my friend, are the Ansel Adams of covert photography. And that other thing, how'd you get it?
Address book on his desk. Isn't our business concluded?
Yeah, even Steven. I mean, you did fix the door, right?
Yeah.
You sent back the payment we agreed upon. The man. The one killed for helping the truck driver. If I may make an observation, perhaps you are trying to correct something which cannot be corrected.
It's not the kind of thing I want to take money for.
But the fact remains that your actions benefited me more than you can know.
That's your business. I'm just glad to have Salamanca out of my head.
Well, perhaps in the future, you will consider working for me.
The way they played that music.
That'll depend on the work.
Would you care to know why I stopped you from killing Hector?
Like you said, it wasn't in your interest.
A bullet to the head would have been far too humane.
I assume everyone left their cell phones and so on at reception.
Yes, indeed.
And you'll let me know if you need a break or anything else.
Oh,
I will. Thank you, Miss Hay.
Your client understands that if he violates the terms of the agreement or is arrested for any infraction, the crimes to which he has confessed here will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, in addition to any new charges.
He understands.
And I must inform you, Mr. McGill, as an officer of the court and member of the bar, your confession will be referred to the New Mexico Bar Association.
Would it not be more accurate to say destroyed a cassette tape?
I'm sorry, wasn't the cassette tape his property?
Of course it was.
Then it seems entirely accurate to say he damaged the victim's property.
Why be vague?
We'd suggest destroyed item of personal property.
Miss Wexler?
Works for us.
Destroyed item.
You got to initial it too?
Personal property there.
Can you initially, please?
Yep.
The confession you've written is adequate, but frankly, I sense a lack of remorse. And I, for one, would like to hear an apology. Charles deserves at least that much.
Oh, my God.
Now?
Yes, Mr. McGill, now.
I was wrong.
Mr. McGill, could you at least look your brother in the eye?
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Oh, God.
I regret it all of it, more than you can imagine. Because you're my brother. And no one should treat his own brother like that. Not ever, okay?
Good apology.
All right. The amount is $321.
Ms. Hay, I'm sorry. That figure doesn't represent a full accounting.
Oh, no?
I believe the correct amount is $323.98. That includes the cassette tape. which was destroyed.
Chuck, you son of a
Thank you.
bitch.
$323.98, including
Asshole.
the cassette.
First thing, I'm filing a motion to suppress that tape.
The tape that Jimmy destroyed, you mean?
There's no way there isn't a duplicate.
Really?
You knew Jimmy was going to break in. You wanted him to.
This is not how we do discovery.
Actually, Jimmy destroyed the duplicate. So, of course, file whatever motions you'd like. It's your privilege.
I will. Count on it.
But, Kim, you should be aware, because I believe this will be your first disciplinary hearing, the Bar Association standard of proof is far more lenient than what you're used to. Motions aside, that tape will be played.
What? Bingo.
There's another. But how are they gonna? First, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And I have a Patreon with full-length early reactions to things like this. If you'd like to, check it out. Hey, I don't have much to say because there's one thing. Breaking Bad being like the first show that I fully completed all the way through. I sort of took note of something, and what I realized is a lot of times I would reiterate stuff that doesn't need to be reiterated because I talked about it so much during the episode. Like, let's say the reviews were separate from the reactions, it'd be one thing, but it's connected to it. So what I'm going to do with this is, y'all, so when I talk a lot, I'll let that be what it is. But on this one, what I would say is that not only was what they did with Gus and Salamanca and Mike dope, it added so many layers that I appreciate because it was layers that we had gotten so much from there and it was satisfying how it ended. So I just never thought about it no more. What the story was what the story was. And as I said, when we see them in Breaking Bad, they're rivals. Don Salamanca has his condition. Tuco is the one basically running everything at that moment. So what makes him come back into business and come back out and play is Tuco actually being taken out. All right. And so you see them sitting across each other at the table. So you're thinking, okay, you have that. But then you see the beginning of their relationship, really. And it involves Gus's guy getting popped. So you're like, that's what it is between them. I never even really thought about in between there. In between them sitting at the table across from each other and when we first see them. All that I really thought about was how it was handled going forth. So until we have the explosion in the home. Right? So I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Like that's what it is. So when we get into this, even as I see Gus and he shows up and all that, still not thinking about it. I'm like, oh, we're going to see something cool. When we see what happens here, where it's like straight up jealousy. Before, it was him being just a scumbag. And I'm talking about Hector Salamanca. He gets jealous, but before that, we see him as just being a scumbag. But now the man's jealous. But here's the thing. That was all a part of Salamanca's, that was all a part of Gus's plan with Salamanca. Right? It had already been laid down to us. We already kind of understood when Mike was going to kill him and he stopped by Gus. We understood, oh, okay, he had plans for him going forward. But I didn't realize how much under his shoe he was. I'm pretty sure they alluded to that in Breaking Bad. I just don't recall it at this moment. How much, like this man basically said, hey, you going through me now. And here's what's dope about Gus. As I said, when we see him, it's this rival thing that we see. But here in this episode, he's doing the face that he puts on just as the Los Pollos Hermanos guy. Well, has Don Eladio heard about this? Right? Like he's trying to put on that front to where Salamanca will be none the wiser. And now that makes the ending even more poetic because Gus been whooping his ass unknowingly and knowingly that whole time from here in this show all the way to Breaking Bad, and Salamanca and him end up going boom. But because Salamanca, he had enough. Now looking back at it, it's like, oh shit, he been working him this whole fucking time. We see him mess with the shipments. It's like, okay. But what's more to it than that? So we see them pull up. And I'm thinking, wait, is this in the past? No, it wasn't. This is right now. Salamanca shows up with his money, got rubber bands, and it's a little bit compared to the amount that Gus sends. And look how it's perfectly wrapped. It's pristine. And it's one thing if he just makes more, but he makes it a point. No more rubber bands. Eladio says, no, none of that. No more rubber bands. I want it all to be wrapped up like this. And you're sitting there like, oh, okay, jealousy. And the man's hating. We already saw him hating because he called it, what he called it, butt bros. To see Salamanca say that and try to disparage him and become a hater, and Gus worked him. He knew all that shit. He was going to show up and all that and do all that. Because he knows the type of guy he's dealing with. A hating bitch. So he had that motherfucker like a hating bitch to the work. He's flicking pieces of shit on his table, just acting like a hoe. Like, why the fuck you doing it? But that's all part of Gus's plan. He's like, oh, good. I know it worked because of what he just pulled right here. Okay? What they did with the guys in the restaurant, that was dope. The speech he gave, dope. All the little, like I said, intricacies. Black guy leaves, Hispanic people leave. Lyle and everybody else is just like, huh? Lyle is sitting there. He won't stop talking about it. I'm like, oh, God, you're going to get yourself beat the fuck up. I was so worried for Lyle, right? Then you have the, him approaching, sending Mike money. Mike is like, we square. But this is what made Gus want to work with him is, he's like, damn, this motherfucker honorable, right? And then he straight up says, I may have work for you later on. He's like, okay. Right? Like, if it's a I owe you thing, he'll pay what he owes. Don't pay me back. But that doesn't mean, oh, I won't work for you. You give me work, then pay me. That's how we know these two characters to be. And it was dope to see the fruition. This is how dope they knew it was going to be. He tells him about the work and all that, and they play the music. And then when Mike says, okay, they play some more music. I'm like, they knew they understand how important, the details to the show are. I just liked it. Then let's go to Chuck and his whole thing. Kim is dope. What Kim did, looking for the maintenance people and seeing who he had a schedule with, and then canceling the schedule. And do you have a guy that's first finding out the time also that it was supposed to take place, and then utilizing Mike to go and handle it? I wonder what they're doing here. I wonder how this is going to go. Because she found out there's another tape. Okay. They know that. When he took all those pictures, was that him trying to see if they could find where the tape is located someplace in the house? Was that what that was? Also, the scene with the DA that they had to bring out of town, the ADA they had to bring out of town. Hilarious. I found that to be funny because she got a problem with him as an officer of the court doing what he did. But she's also cool with Mr. McGill, Chuck, because on a law sort of level, they both feel the same way. Also, Chuck, he's frail at this moment. Like, he's sort of, like, you see the way she said, oh, I talked to my husband about it, blah, blah, blah. And, the chick, she couldn't, it was something with the frequency. She had to leave when they would start singing. I'm like, oh, no, how's this going to work? And she made him apologize. It's hilarious because they being petty back and forth. You see Jimmy, like, that's something a brother should never, ever do, right? And then you see Chuck on his type of thing, like, no, we need the full cost. That would be $323 in some sense. And he's like, pay for the cassette. You motherfucker, you, right? And then what Kim did, it seemed like, oh, she was getting work. Nah, she had something. She was like, bingo. And then they walked out. So Want to see how that goes. I said I wasn't going to talk that long, and then I talked 11 minutes. I gave it a shot. That was my one episode giving it a shot. I guess they all going to be this long. Next episode.